Good evening. If you're here with me, like Butch here, I had an injury earlier this week, so we're going to be keeping this easy peasy, low to the ground. Um, yeah, I got hit in the face with a basketball, and the kid that threw it pretty hard, and I went down to the floor. Blood went everywhere. I had to have my nose glued shut. I will be seeing an ENT sometime next week. So I believe that I'm out of the woods for concussion, but I don't want to risk anything with inversions and possibly, having a nasal hematoma. I can't remember the technical term for it. So if you have weak wrists, this is going to be the practice for you because we're going to keep it nice and easy. And this is the first time he's been here with me for yoga practice. So hopefully I can get him distracted so he can go lay on the dog bed. But go lay on the bed. Go lay on the bed. Go lay on the bed. Go. Nope, he's not. Okay, but we are going to practice. We're going to start this practice on our backs. And hopefully you'll be able to see what we're doing. Let me get him to move. Come here, bud. Come here. Come over here. Over here. Over here. Nope. Over here. Nope. Over here. Over here. There we go. Stay. Nope. Nope. Stay. Stay. Stay right there. Stay right there. He's a little needy. So come to your back. And what we're going to do first, and I might get some toe licking from him. Yeah. We're going to wiggle our feet. So you can rock them back and forth. You can spin them in circles. You can point and flex. What we want to do is just stretch, not just our feet. When we do this, we're also stretching the muscles in our calves. And it's very beneficial and it's good for circulation. It's also good just as we get older to have an easy practice occasionally where we can just focus in on ourselves and our intention. And our intention for this week is be kind. Now that goes for many things. To be kind to yourself, not to judge yourself too harshly when things aren't going the way you'd like them. Be kind to yourself if you get a little overwhelmed with what's going on in the world right now. Be kind to others. That's also really important. If you see someone that's entering a door right behind you, hold the door for them. If you see somebody that's trying to turn into traffic, let them in. It's only going to cost you a minute or two. We can't always be in such a hurry that we get into such a bubble that we don't understand how our actions impact others. So with a kind gesture that doesn't cost anything, maybe just an extra few seconds of your time, maybe being behind one more car in traffic, it's the best thing to spread happiness. And when you do those things, if they say thank you, smile and say, you're welcome. And wave if you're letting somebody in front of you. Truly, just little acts of kindness go such a long way. And that person that you're doing something kind for doesn't know what's going on in your life. You don't know what's going on in theirs. But when you have acts of kindness from one person to the next, it can really make your week. I had a student earlier this week that told her mom, "I'd like to come back every day." And that made my month. And she had no idea. She had no idea what an impact that had on me. I'm sure her mom did, because my smile, even though my nose was really sore, my smile basically just said it all. Now, I hope you're still stretching your feet. We're going to take our time with this. Now, we're going to reach up and overhead with our arms, and we're going to do the same thing that we did with our feet. So you can open and close your hands. You can stretch your arms so that you get a really good stretch in your forearms. After my crossbody curls the other day with the workout video that I uploaded, this feels really good. Coming back from a trip and suffering from jet lag for a few days, it took a while to get back into my normal fitness routine. So the first week I was able to work in a lot of walks and some runs and yoga. And this week I worked in lifting weights twice. And then the injury happened. So now I'm having to scale it back again. So again, being kind, even though I had to scale back my own physical fitness routine, just hearing a young child say that they want to come back every single day rather than running and screaming from you, it really was the kindest thing that she could have done. And we will have that intention to be just as kind to others. Now we're still stretching our hands. We can throw in our feet again. Take deep breaths while you're doing this. So just deepen them. Really expand your abdomen with air. Breathing in and out. In and out. Now we're going to bring our feet up so that our heels are as close to our tailbone as possible. We're going to do a couple of bridge poses here. So place your hands flat on your mat. I'm going to get a little more centered. And what we want to do is go very slow. And you want to tilt your pelvis so that your tailbone comes up first and that the lower back comes flush with the mat. And then from that tailbone, lift up into our bridge. Go nice and slow. You'll feel your leg muscles engage. If you push down into your hands, you'll feel your arm muscles engage. And then once we're in this bridge, you can lift your toes. Try to keep the four parts of your sole in contact with the mat. So just lift your toes and then lift a little higher and lower. So go nice and slow. And then tilt that pelvis again so that your spine, you can feel each individual vertebra come in contact with the mat as we go back down. Now, you can also grab onto your mat in order to engage your arm muscles for this next bridge. So tilt that pelvis and allow the tailbone to guide your hips up to the sky. And lift your toes. Maybe grab that edge of your mat a little bit harder. You can take a bind so you can interlace your fingers underneath your back. But you want to imagine that your chest is reaching for your chin and your chin is reaching for the sky. Now we're going to roll back down. So go nice and slow. When you get to mid-back, tilt your pelvis so that your spine along the lower back comes in contact with the mat. Now grab both of your knees and hug them to your chest. This is like one of my favorite poses because it's just allows you to stretch muscles that we don't seem to get in any other pose or flow. Now we're going to hold on to our left knee while we reach up to the sky with that right foot. And make sure I don't have a dog head in my way. And we're going to lower. Starting to lose my voice. Pollen has been really bad. So lower that right foot slow. Very, 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 very slow. And right about the moment that you feel your abdominal wall kick in, allow that foot to hover. So don't allow it to go all the way to the mat. And then point your toes, flex your foot, point, flex, point, and flex. Now bring that right knee up to join the left. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So grab that right knee, really hug it tight so that, and it might not even come close to your abdomen, but try to get it as close as you can. Lift that left leg up to the sky and lower. Again, go nice and slow. Try to keep your lower back in contact with the mat along with your shoulder blades. And right about the point where you feel your abdominal wall kick in, allow that foot to hover. Then point your toes, flex, point, flex, point, and flex. And then bring that left knee up to meet the right. Maybe roll back and forth a little bit on your mat. It's a great back rub, courtesy of your yoga mat. And then lower your feet, except the right foot. We're going to cross our right foot over our left leg to where your ankle is just past your thigh. And then lift the left foot up and take your hands and thread the needle. So you want to go through the two legs with your right hand, joining with your left hand, the back of your thigh. Have your left leg bent to where your shin is parallel with the ceiling. And we want to push out with that foot and pull in with your hands. We're going to keep our feet flexed. Maybe wiggle your toes. It's like a figure four. It's reclined pigeon. You can wiggle your feet like we did first, then in with them flexed, and release. Now we're going to place our right foot on the mat. Take the left leg, cross it over, have your ankle just on the outside of that right thigh. Reach between with your left hand, join and interlace your fingers behind that right thigh, and try to keep your shoulders in contact with the mat. It may cause you to actually reach for it, and push out with that right foot and pull in with your arms. There's a little bit of push and pull going on. I think Butch is the perfect yoga dog. Now we're going to release. Yes, he's perfect yoga dog. We're going to stretch out, and I'm going to see if I have room. Now we're going to take our feet and put them on the left lower corner of your mat, side by side, and then scoot your head and shoulders over to the left side of your mat. So we have a little crescent shape. Then reach up over your head and grab your right wrist with your left hand and stretch. So pull that right arm with your left hand to deepen the stretch a little bit. Maybe cross your right foot over your ankle, your left ankle, and take a deep breath in and out. Start imagining things that you would like random strangers to do for you as an act of kindness. Maybe at a coffee shop, handing you a napkin. Maybe you can do that for someone else. And release. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So scoot your feet to the lower right corner and take your head and shoulders and scoot to the upper right corner. Lift your hands high above your head. Grab that left wrist with your right hand and stretch. And then pull that left wrist or left ankle over your right ankle just to deepen the stretch a little bit. And take a deep breath in and out. Maybe start thinking of a neighbor that's done something nice for you in the past, and maybe something that you can do in return. Kindness. We want to spread kindness over the next week. Don't worry and cause anxiety, but really just think of little things that might make someone smile that you can do for them. And then come back to center. We're going to bring both knees back up to our chest. And then place your hands on the back of your thigh and roll up to a seated position. Good boy. And you can stay at the foot of your mat, or you can get into the center of your mat like I am. But we're going to sit here for a second or two and stretch out our neck. So start by rocking your ears over your shoulders, one side at a time. It's kind of hard to do both. The tail. I don't think I've ever met a dog that wiggled as much as this one does. Then rock your head front to back, front to back. And one last time, front to back. Now we're going to lift our hands up behind our ears and up above our head as we take a deep breath in, and then turn to your left, right hand to your left knee as we breathe out rather. The left hand is just propped up behind us. We don't want to crash into our hand. We want to allow our spine to be what supports us. And then take a deep breath in as you look up and twist a little bit farther as you breathe out. Come back to center. Same thing on the other side. So reach up and overhead as you take a deep breath in. And twisting to the right with your left hand going to your right knee as we breathe out. Take a deep breath in. Look up and twist as we breathe out. And then come back to center. Now we're going to go into a cobbler's pose. So put your feet, soles together. Oh, my ankle just popped. And grab your ankles. And we're going to take a deep breath in and lean over as we breathe out. Now you can tuck your chin. Take deep breaths. Now your knees might be up like this, but with time and lots of practice, you'll get that space to where your thighs can be more or closer to your mat. And leaning over. If you're not able to do that and they're like this, no worries. Just lean as far as you can and then tuck your chin to your chest. With time, you'll get the space to be able to do these types of poses and feel weight in your thighs as we're sitting up in cobbler's pose. So rise up, back nice and straight. Take a deep breath in and out. Now we're going to have our legs out and wide with our feet flexed. And you really want to push your thighs down into your mat. So that's going to activate your quads. And then we're going to crawl forward with our hands. And if you're able to, maybe go down to your forearms. And then lean your head down as far as you can. Now, I've been practicing for a while now, and I still cannot get my head to the floor in this position. So please do not feel bad if you cannot get your head to the floor. It's a work in progress when we practice yoga. We find a little more space each time. So this is where we need to be kind to ourselves. So if your hands only come out like this, that is a step in the right direction. Then, in time, you should be able to get your forearms to the floor. And when that time comes, then you can just lean over as far as you can. And maybe each time your head will get closer to the mat. Mine will never touch the mat. I'm in my 60s now. But if you're here with me and you're in the same age group that I am, don't hold yourself responsible for being able to do those things. Just do what you can. Be kind to yourself. Now, when you rise up, do so from your center. So you want to feel the motion originate in center. And that will activate your abdominal wall and support your lower back. Now take your right foot and bring it in. It's like a half cobbler's, but we're bringing it in farther than it would be in cobbler's pose. Then we want to turn so that we're facing our left foot. And we're going to do the same thing that we did with our twist in our seated position. Take both hands, go back behind your ears, up to the sky as you breathe in, and lean over, belly towards your thigh as we breathe out. You can grab your toes. If you're unable to reach your toes, just grab the side of your calf or maybe the bottom of your pants, whatever you've got on. Then take a deep breath in as you look forward and breathe out as we tuck our head to our chest. Pollen is horrible. And just like we did with the other position just a moment ago, when you rise up, make sure it originates from center. You want that motion to begin there. So that way your back will follow as we come up. Now we're going to switch sides. So take that left foot in, right foot out. Shift so that you're facing that right foot. Lift your hands behind your ears up to the sky as you take a deep breath in and breathe out as you lean forward, your stomach towards your thigh. Now you can have your leg bent if having it straight is too much. Breathe in, look forward, and breathe out as you tuck your chin. Maybe your head will come to your knee. Maybe it's more comfortable to have it just above. Just be kind to yourself. Don't be hard on yourself if you can't twist yourself in knots. We want yoga to be beneficial, not something that's a source of frustration. It's going to help us with mobility as we get older and balance and just overall wellness. So as we lift up again from center, that will change the way you move. If you focus every day to move from center, your life will change. And yoga has changed my life. That and my Fitbit. All right, now we're going to bring our feet back to that cobbler's pose. We're going to close our eyes and take a deep breath in. We're not done yet. We're just taking a little rest, breathing in and out. Now we're going to go into a boat pose, so don't panic. We want to turn to the side, and we're going to loop our arms underneath our knees and just grab opposite wrists or opposite elbows. I've got short little arms, so I'm grabbing my wrists. And then we're going to tilt back to where we're on our toes. You can adjust so that you feel comfortable. And then when you start to feel like you can hold your balance as you go back, then go back just a little bit and have your feet come up off the mat. The most important thing with a boat is to work on trying to keep your spine nice and straight. So if this is best for you, stay just like this. In time, you'll feel like, oh, I can tilt back, and allow your toes to leave the mat. And then when that time comes, you want to lift your shins so that they're parallel to the ceiling. And then you want to reach on either side of your legs with your arms. They can be slightly bent, they can be nice and straight, they can be up over your head. But then we want to lower to low boat and back up, lower and back up, lower and back up, and grab your knees, or behind your knees rather, the way we started. And if you find that it's like my shoulders just came up close to my ears, I don't know why, then just loop them back and then go back into the same routine again. So we're going to lift our shins first so that they're parallel to the ceiling, then reach out on either side, and then lower, come back up, lower, come back up, lower, and back up. And now we're going to end this practice in Shavasana. So this did get a little bit of our abdominal wall engaged with our boat. We were able to work out muscles in our legs just with the sitting and leaning over poses that we did. Now, when we go into Shavasana, allow every muscle to relax. If your feet go off to the side, let them. Allow your fingers to curl as they naturally would. Now we're going to do something funny with our mouths. We stretched out our feet and our hands. Now we're going to stretch out our face. So open your mouth, go round and round, side to side. Make like growling faces, squish up your face like you're trying to make it real small, and then allow it to relax. I wouldn't have tried that on Wednesday when I had my nose glued, but I think it's holding together, so I feel like I'm safe to do that. So I do hope that you feel like a wash of optimism in doing this practice tonight, and that you can focus in on spreading kindness this week, and that you're kind to yourself even when things don't go your way, that you're still able to have a smile on your face and recognize the things that you did get done. So that's it for tonight. Oh, went over. Now I have to be very careful. I don't know if you've watched these videos before, but I have to approach the computer very slowly because my camera freezes. And I'm just going to check and see if there's any comments. And if there are, or if there's any questions, I'll be happy to respond to them. But there's nobody that's commenting. So I will end this stream and I will see you again next week. Bye.